On this dead center segment, I'm going to talk with you about how to get your broadheads to group better with your field points. A lot of people out there really want to go out and have their broadheads hit close to their field points. There's a few things that you need to do tuning wise to make sure that happens. You know, I personally don't really mind whether or not my field points and my broadheads hit in the same spot, as long as they're both grouping equally, but there is a technique that you can do to bring those closer together. And I will want to tell you that certain fixed blade broadheads do fly better than other fixed blade broadheads. There's some out there that just have much too much surface area, and you know, that blade is just too big to ever have a chance at grouping with the field point. However, some of the better designs, the more compact designs out there, are going to allow you to be a lot more likely to get your fixed blades to group with your field points. So I personally prefer the shuttle T-locks. I've liked them for a long time, and that's because it's a solid blade, which helps in the aerodynamic as well as the durability, but it's also short and compact, and I've had great luck with them. So what I'm going to do here first is I'm going to shoot 2 arrows. First, I'm going to shoot a field point, and then I'm going to shoot the broadhead, and we'll go down and talk about what we need to do to make these two come together. There's my release right there. There's a fixed blade. Okay, let's come down and check this out. Okay, now what you'll see here is my first arrow was my field point, and it was right perfect in the heart. The second shot was my fixed blade, and as you can see, it shoots lower. Now it's important that I know that both my field points and my fixed blades are both grouping identical, which is important before you do this step. Now what we need to do to make sure we try to bring these closer together is we actually need to adjust our arrow rest slightly in order to do that. And the basic principle that you should remember when trying to bring your fixed blade broadheads closer to your field points is that opposites always attract. And what I mean by that is my fixed blade is lower than my field point. So then what I need to do is I need to do the opposite on my arrow rest in order to compensate for this. So what this is telling me is my arrow rest is slightly low, which is why that wants to plane lower than my field point. So what I need to do is I'm going to do the exactly opposite of what this arrow was doing, which it was going low. So now I'm going to raise my rest up slightly, and we're going to shoot again to see if hopefully it brings these two back together. The same thing is true for your left and your right. If your fixed blade broadheads are shooting way further to the right than your field point, then what you need to do is move your rest to the left. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and make a quick change with the Allen wrench on our arrow rest. I'm going to move it once again slightly up so that hopefully on the next 2 shots you're going to see how these come right back together. Okay, we've made just a slight tweak on the rest. A little bit goes a long way. A very little bit goes a long way. At the bottom edge of the heart. Now we're going to get my fixed blade. Right next to it. Let's go check it out. Okay, now as you can see, without getting too close to wreck these things, that slight adjustment that I made has now brought my fixed blade head closer to my field point. So if you want to go even that much closer, all you need to do is make another quick adjustment. Again, opposite with your rest is where your arrow's going with your fixed blade in relation to your field point. So we can just bump that up. Right now we're only about an inch off at 20 yards. So a slight adjustment is going to definitely help me out. The further you do this at for distance, the more you can fine tune these adjustments. So opposite attract when it comes to field points and fixed blade broadheads.